to the decision table. We see women striving to get to the boardroom. Can we relate to that? Do we have women in our institutions, our organizations that okay. Sorry for the interruption. I've just been notified that the fourth panelist is here. So we would welcome him to join us. Dinah, are you bringing him? He's from RMU, and I would ask that he comes over to introduce himself to us, please, since we do not have his profile. You are welcome, sir. Can we get a brief introduction of yourself?
Thank you very much. My name is Dr. Ivan Sagutete. I'm a senior lecturer at the Transport Department. I'm here representing the head of department for the Transport Department, Mrs. Sami Uwata, who is unavoidably not feeling too well today. Thank you.
That's fine. We are glad to have you. Okay. So we'll just go straight into our discussion. We were asking that from the docs to the decision table to the boardroom, can we relate to that? Do we find women in our institutions who have progressed to the boardroom? Can I get Madam Abna to take this question? You can relate it to your workplace, the ports.
Okay. Thank you. Before I begin, I would want to take a minute to observe silence, because I just read that we've lost one of the persons who championed women empowerment in Ghana. That is the First Lady, Nana Akufo-Addo Agyeman-Rawlings. And I am sad because to find ourselves here, we know the role that she played. For every woman in Ghana, she was a pace setter, irrespective of wherever you're coming from. And that said, for us at Ghana Port and Harbors, I should say that the journey from the dock to the boardroom began somewhere critically in 2000, where we first had a woman as the first woman to ever go into operations. And she was followed by other women. And when it got to the time for some of us, we thought it was more like a punishment, because you are in marketing and you get a letter that you have been transferred to operations, to Steve Doring. And you ask yourself, what do I know about Steve Doring? Which also requires that you come to work at night, to come and be at the vessel side or the quay side. And it was tears when the letter came. However, the 6 years spent in the port operations has done a lot of good, because you get to understand why the port is doing what it's doing, and wherever you have an opportunity to talk about issues, you know what you're talking about. And therefore, that conscious journey led to people like Madame Esther Jebidonko, who became the first woman to handle 3 terminals together. And she rose to become the very first general manager, a woman, the first general manager in communication. And in 2019, all of the activities to see the women, come to the decision-making table culminated in the appointment of Mrs. Sandra Opoku as the very first woman to become a director of ports. Wow. So for us, the journey has been one filled with challenges, but also through these women, we know that it is possible for the women to get there. Yeah, thank you.
Indeed, we are resetting the transport and logistics sector. This transformation signals a cultural shift, really, to have Madame Esther Jebidonko and Madame Sandra Opoku. That's really a shift in our cultural practice. And they are not just participants in the maritime operations, they've been policy influencers. Thank you very much. Madam Catherine, can you relate to that? Can you share something on that with us?
Yes, certainly. So at the Ghana Maritime Authority, where I work, we have women also in positions of leadership. And it didn't just start, as Madam has just said. We started with women from, climbing up the ladder, progressing steadily, and then eventually going into managerial positions. And currently, as we speak, we have, when you look at our setup, we have 6 directorates, so with people under them. And out of that, 3 are occupied by women. Wow. So I think the authority has done well in that regard. And even this is the current state. I mean, prior to that, we've had women who had equally climbed the ladder and had risen to become directors as well. And we have the case of one Madam Azara, who had even progressed to the international level, at the IMO, the International Maritime Organization, and she's doing amazing there. I think she's the Director of Administration as we speak. So these are all inspirational stories. We see these women and a lot of us aspiring to be like them, now at the level, hoping that would be there. So these women are shaping policies. They are not just, and they are really competent, I must add. It's not just about, when we talk about gender advocacy or we talk about women empowerment, people are feeling that women are just being favored for the purposes of being a woman. But that isn't the case. These women are very qualified and they are competent as well at what they do. And that is the reason why they've risen to the top. So we have very good examples in the GMA. Thank you.
That's brilliant. I like the point you made that it's not just they being favored because they are women, but actually they hold the necessary competencies and skills to occupy that position. And as an HR person myself, I know that when jobs becomes available or vacancies become available, it's through competition. I mean, competitive interviews. And so it's not merely by saying you are a female, so you get that position. You have to compete equally with our male counterparts. Thank you very much, Madam Catherine. Madam VLTC, let's hear you. What's happening there, Madam Matilda?
Thank you very much. At VLTC, I really need to say that the maritime industry is a very strong industry. I remember when I went for my interview at VLTC, I was asked, that was when I was going into HR. The panel was filled with men, and I was the only lady amongst those who went for the interview. And I was asked, supposing the sailors come back from a voyage and their meals, they are supposed to go and their meals are not ready, what will be how will you respond to their need? In fact, when they come, they are tired. Sometimes they come, fuel is ready to push. We push fuel up north from Akosumo. Fuel is ready to go. And for some reasons, their meals are not ready. They come forcefully. How will you respond to them? I'm saying this because the maritime industry is a very strong industry. Just as when the sailors are going, sometimes the wind is blowing and the winds are not favorable for them and they have to strive hard to sail through. Sometimes that is how we behave. So you as a woman, you have to behave like a mother. When your child is hungry and the food is not ready, what are you supposed to do? So at VLTC, women have come from afar. But today, I want to say that the managing director is a woman. Wow. She's a strong woman. She's a mentor. And among the 8 managerial roles, including the managing director's role, we have 4 of them handled by women. So it's a 50-50 affair. But let me say that it is not because VLTC wants to project women. You have to work hard. Systems are in place when it comes to recruitment. It is on the principle of fair opportunity or equal opportunity and equal performance. So I want to say that the women in these roles are capable women at VLTC. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Matilda. And you mentioned that at VLTC, when you went for your interview, it was just males with just you. On this panel, we have 4 females and 1 male, so we are dominating. Yes, so, sir, from RMU, what can you say about that? Can you relate to this?
Yes, thank you very much. I want to say that, yes, in academia, we would all know that the maritime industry is a male-dominated industry. But for some time now, RMU has had about 40% enrollment of females who are studying nautical science, marine engineering, even the logistics or port programs, I would put it. There is a current class of level 100 students. I think the January intake, I entered the class to teach, and more than half of the class were women, and I was so happy about it. And it is because there is a collaboration between the Regional Maritime University and the Ghana Maritime Authority on trying to go to secondary schools to teach and educate students, especially female students, to take up maritime education. And I think we are doing quite a good job. There are about 24,000 female seafarers around the world. And I dare to say that Ghanaian trained women seafarers are one of the best. We can mention Captain Catherine Azel, Captain Hannah, who have gone to sea for so many years, and they are still here mentoring women, mentoring young women, mentoring girls, so that they will also achieve that kind of feat. We've had, like I just said, the transport department has almost always had a female head of department. Mrs. Hannah was around. We are having Amewata. So yes, we are doing a lot in terms of recruiting females into maritime education. And I would also want to say that young women and girls need a lot of, I would say, enticement to come in. So we have the Regional Maritime University Education Fund. A year ago, the fund awarded 3 scholarships to 3 deserving female students. At our graduation ceremony last year, one of them was the overall best student.
Wow.
So we are very happy to include women in maritime education.
That is money well spent, eh?
Money well spent.
Yeah. You train a woman, you train a nation. Sure. Thank you very much. You did mention that when you entered the lecture room, you saw about 50% of the students being females. This was reiterated by our Director General as well, who said RMU have given about 50% vacancies to females, and that is very, very, very recommendable. We do know, as you have reiterated, that the maritime industry is a male-dominated industry. As such, we would have to, you mentioned enticement. What are our respective organizations doing, either locally or globally, doing to ensure that we encourage women into this perceived male-dominated industry, whether it's through policies, through education, initiatives, basically anything? How are we relating, or how are we ensuring that our respective organizations are doing that? Who would want to go? Okay.
Thank you very much. Just to add to what our lady from GMA said, the GMA also had a lady board chair, a woman, Madam Jamilat Mahama, and I'm sure you forgot to mention that.
She was coming to that.
Madam Jamilat is the head of Worcester International, and all the female students that I came here with, they are all part of the women in maritime in Ghana who are being nurtured for the maritime industry. So I would say that in terms of trying to encourage women, trying to give them scholarship opportunities, training programs. Now, the training programs shouldn't just be in forms of, I would say, formal education, okay? At the Regional Maritime University, we've collaborated with NAHOG, the National Association of Heavy Equipment Users. Now, we are training crane operators, we are training reach stacker operators, forklift operators. So we are not just training women in managerial roles, but from the bed, women working in all forms of port activities and maritime activities, trying to encourage them. We have NGOs trying to create awareness of the fact that more women should come into port, because there's a saying that when more women get into maritime, ports run faster, ports run smarter, ports are able to work rapidly. I believe that there was a time when even GPHA had a lot of women managers, and if you compare ship turnaround time around that time, you realize that ship turnaround time even went up, or ship turnaround time was very high at a time when they had more female managers. So I think from our side, we've been able to, even though there's more room for improvement, I believe that there should be more encouragement for young girls to come into training. And I'm very happy that this year, the IMO decided that for the IMO, the theme was going to be My Harassment-Free Ship. That young females or young women should know that when they go to sea, they are protected by international laws, so that the harassment people had faced, some women had faced in the past, should be a thing of the past. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Madam Matilda, you want to go?
Yes. Our managing director, Mrs. Angela Alonte, when she resumed office, I remember one thing she said. She said, I want to bring all the ladies close to me. And I asked, Madam, please, what do you mean by close to you? She said, I want all of us to prove to the men that even though we are in a male-dominated industry, we can make a difference. And truly, she's making so much difference. Now, we are shifting from a system of compliance where SIGA says at any material moment, the management group should have a gender balance of not less than 30% of women, and then the other for men. Now, recruitment is on the principle of performance and ability. Performance, whether if you are able to perform, if you are given the opportunity, you should be measured as the males are measured in terms of performance. So you, the woman or the female, must prove yourself. Now we are developing systems in terms of training, gender-responsive training programs, like women in management. We have change management, that I would say that women are better at managing change in organizations, because when it comes to intuition, you know, we are able to even perceive that this will work before it starts. It's just like being at home. You know that if this child walks this path, I saw that there was some water there, so there's a likelihood that he or she will step into it and fall. So we are, I feel, and I know, I can perceive that we are better at change management than our males. It is not to say that we compete with them at VLTC, no, but we are in a hurry to prove that we are capable. We don't get the roles because there's a compromise. The policies are there. If you need this qualification to get there, you have to get it. Beside the qualification, you should have proven experience of being able to do it. So at VLTC, we have the training programs that are gender sensitive towards women, to make sure that women are trained to be able to perform in the roles. As I speak now, we have 3 young women from the Design and Technical Institute being trained, given practical experience in welding and fabrication. We all know that welding and fabrication is a male-dominated profession, but they are there being trained. We are giving them mentorship, the practical experience, so that when they finish and they don't even get to work at VLTC. They'll be ready for the job market. So that's what is happening at VLTC.
That's very, very great. Good work being done over there. I got a bit worried when you mentioned that when Madam Angie assumed duty, said she wanted all the females close to you. I was wondering the reaction of the men, because usually when women gather, the men think it's for something else. But I just want to mention that we just want to find our space and then shine in our space. It's not about competition. It's not about rivalry, but it's just finding our space and shining in our space so that we are both comfortable. We complement each other. We cannot do without the males, and the males cannot do without us. So we complement each other. So that's what I wanted. So when you see 2 or 3 women are gathered, I know some men, oh, there they go again. Please, we are not in competition with you. We complement you. Thank you very much for that. Madam Catherine, can you share your experience as well?
Yes, I'm so happy when the gentleman was speaking about he entering the class and finding more women in the class. Because when I was there about 22 years ago, in my class, we were about 36, and we were just 10 females in my class. And in the other classes, which were running seagoing courses, that was even worse. Those ones had, engineering had about 5, nautical science, I think it was just 2. It was very pathetic back then. So sitting here many years after and hearing that a good number of them are represented in the classrooms, it's actually interesting and very nice to hear. So I can see that a lot of effort has gone into coming to where we are, but then there's a lot more that we can do. Okay. So in my organization, as he reminded me, our board chair is a woman, and even there is equally a good representation of women on our board. Madam Esther JP is there, and a good number of them. So that is equally good. We are hopeful that in the future we'll have a future MD or CEO, just as VLTC. Yeah. And then, so following from the question as in what our organizations are doing, I know that this year at the World Maritime Day, our able leadership, our Director General announced a package for the best graduating female student, where GMA will be sponsoring or giving an award. So there's an institution of an award system to celebrate the best graduating students of RMU, every year. So I think that's a good one. And equally, we sponsor the women programs. So we have all these women associations, women in maritime, WISTA, women in shipping and transport and all that. And most of the time, their programs, GMA sponsors their programs, all in an effort to boost, women empowerment or women participation in the maritime industry. And as we speak, currently, we have about 6 or so of our people, of our females there. There's a WISTA conference going on in Spain, and they've been sponsored, and they are there as we speak currently. Going there, and I think they'll be back next week or so. Yeah. So GMA is doing well, and we have this Go to Sea campaign as well, which we ran last year. So we had team that went to the northern region, to send the message there, because those of us here, we see the sea. At least there's a bit of proximity, but in the hinterlands, they have no idea about the sea and even the opportunities available in terms of the maritime space. So we sent the message there, to tell them that there are opportunities in the maritime industry, varieties of fields you can venture in. You can be a maritime lawyer, you can go to sea, you can be an engineer, a port manager, so many areas to explore. So this campaign was also run, and the impact, it was very nice to see these young ones and the thirst to know more about the industry and what the industry can offer. So these are some of the things that GMA has done, and then we keep doing to ensure that females are well projected in the space. Thank you.
That's quite a good initiative, especially hearing our rep from RMU saying that the overall best was a sponsored student. So I'm sure with GMA wanting to initiate such a program, that would go a long way to help someone who I know would be the overall best. And so, like I said, you train a female, you train a whole nation. You train one female, you train the whole nation. Okay, Madam Abna, what do we have at the ports? What initiatives, policies are you implementing to advance the cause of women?
Okay. Like I initially shared, that for us, the journey began about 25 years ago. But gradually, we have consciously also made the effort to increase the female representation in the ports through the recruitment process, through training, promotion, and the target for 30%, as at May this year, we were 24.8 or so percent. And we are hoping that we should get there very soon. And the women in the ports have opportunity for all the training that are available. You have opportunity to associate with any of the women in maritime organizations. There's a network of professional women in maritime and ports, which is supported by the Port Manager Association of West and Central Africa and IMO. You have WISTA, you have WIMA, so that you are not just going through the work process, you have association and networking through which you also get to see what other women in the space are doing, which encourage and inspires you to also want to be the best in the place that you find yourself. And of course, we have the Port Ladies Association that also ensures that the needs of the women are addressed. So wherever you have challenges, be it harassment, be it your own personal things that are happening that is impeding your success at the job, you get to speak to somebody. And we want to nurture the woman as a whole person so that when the woman has not got that challenge to think of at home and they come to work, they give of their best. Currently, we are even trying to create a creche in the space or near the port so that the women that are coming back from maternity, they can have their children close. So if you want to go and breastfeed, you can do that. Or at least you get peace of mind that my child is close by. If there's anything at all, I can go back to it. These are things we do so that the women are better positioned, because we know that there's a lot that we do as women. Whereas the men, he's the head, of course, they are coming to work, but there is a woman that nurture at home. And you don't want just the professional woman, you want the whole woman. The woman who is a mother, who is a manager, and that woman is also playing roles in society. So for us at Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, we are making steps to ensure that we are nurturing women to wholly compete in the space. Yes.
That's quite impressive, because not too many organizations think about creche for their nursing mothers. So that's very, very, very good initiative. Well done. So from the experiences shared, we can deduce that it's not just lip service. There are things, actually initiatives going on, and they are workable. They are workable. I know IMO, Madam Catherine, IMO has some educational package or some percentage for women. Can you throw light on that, please?
Okay, so the IMO has its training, affiliates training institutions. That's the World Maritime University in Malmo and the IMLI in Malta. That's where they run the maritime law programs. And I know they try as much as possible to give opportunities to women in terms of scholarships. So when you apply as a woman, even in the application, you would find there that women are encouraged to apply. Every advertisement that they put out, even for career, they'll put there, women are encouraged to apply. And IMO is our mother institution, so we have that being replicated here, but they are doing well. I mean, so you have a good number of females from GMA who have had such opportunity to go to the World Maritime University, pursued courses in maritime, and even some in IMLE, also who are running maritime law programs. Even as we speak, we have students, we have females students there. So we have so many that has been trained, and therefore the capability is there. We have people, we have women, ready and well trained to occupy these leadership positions. Yeah.
Brilliant. Do you want to come in?
I want to add just this little bit of it. When we talk about gaps, normally we are looking at skills. But the experience, I had opportunities to sit on interview panels when I was with HR. What I realized was not skill gaps, but opportunity gaps. That we should give our young ladies or women the opportunity. And it begins from home. But coming to now, the focus is on organization, what we can do. And that is why for VLTC, we begin that process from the interview level, where we look out for the skills, we look out for who will be able to perform, and then we employ, not based on gender, but the fact that you can do the work.
Thank you very much.
I also want to comment a bit. I'm happy Madam talked about the crèche at GPHA. I'm saying that because one of the biggest ports in the world is the port of Hong Kong. The port of Hong Kong has a crèche. It has a kindergarten all the way to the primary school level, only for females. So I want to say that it takes a deliberate government policy. So there could be a government policy that, like Madam said, SIGA says that 30% of women of managers should be females. I think that, for example, GPHA has a Train for Trade program for port managers, for which I'm a facilitator, and many of them are actually men. So I would think that for a policy like this, more females should be brought in, so that as they are being trained to be port managers, they don't just have the opportunity, but they are also skilled enough to be managers in the future. We are going to have, or we're talking about decarbonization in the maritime industry. That comes with training on biofuels, training on how ships should be powered in terms of biofuels. And I want to say that there should be a deliberate government policy to train more females, so that when ships come to the port to bunker, we have bunkering officers who are females, not just males doing those kind of work. So I just wanted to chip that in. And also, in terms of training, the IMO not just have scholarships for, so for my students, the IMO, they don't just have scholarships for people going to IMLE or the World Maritime University. They run the MSc Environmental program at the Dalian Maritime University and Shanghai Maritime University. And they have the same scholarship policy for females. So when you apply as a female, you have some rebates there. So I just, in terms of information, before I forget, thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much. So we've learned from this session, or these submissions, that there should be government policies, there should be training for our ladies, there should be mentorship, and I think affirmative action also came up. And we have established that the affirmative action is not merely because we want a number of females into certain roles, but the females have to be equally qualified like our male counterparts. And that's why some institutions would go all the way to train their females. And also, like our rep from RMU said, there are quite a number of opportunities. So both locally and internationally, like the IMO and the IMLE. And I think it's quite good. But with all these opportunities, there still remain some challenges. Some challenges that inhibits the female or the girl child to get into the male-dominated sector. Can you share some of these challenges and how it can be overcome? So barriers to these challenges, barriers to female emancipation in the maritime and logistics sector, and how it can be overcome. Please keep your questions to yourself for now. We would open the floor for questions and answers. I've seen our young cadets here. I'm sure they'll be eager to learn more. So there'll be time for you. We'll give you time for questions and answers. But in the meantime, can we get to this question, please? Yes, Madam Abner.
I think for me, I would say that the first challenge, it's you as a woman. Sometimes we put the inhibitions on ourselves. That can I do this, can I do that? Or what would people say? Sometimes we just even imagine the challenges ahead whilst we are even contemplating them before we get there. And it blocks our path. You first need to overcome and tell yourself that you can do it. It starts with you as a person before you can decide that, okay, I'm going to take this step. Because if you yourself do not feel challenged to do it and you think that there's going to be inhibitions and how am I going to go about it, you will never take that step. Because I remember clearly when I went to port operations, I had just resumed from maternity. And my boss traveled and said, but you are acting. And I said, oh, boss, I just came. It's 6 weeks. He said, well, I am also going for training for 6 weeks. Within that 6 weeks, I went home, and this is operations where you are there by 8 o'clock. So I didn't get the maternity where you go in late and close early. No. So by 7:30, I would be at work, close around 7 in the evening. One day I went home, and my 8 weeks baby was asleep. I asked my mother, what happened? Oh, mama ne koko kra da 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 how? I wept. I was like, but she's too young for you to give her porridge. Said, you were not coming, and I didn't know what to do. And because of the stress of the work, the breast milk was also not coming. So even though I took the pump to work, I couldn't get anything. So she had fed the baby. By the 3rd month, the baby had stopped breastfeeding. And it was a heavy blow for me. But then I told myself, there's nothing happening to her. She's fine, she's eating. Why not just forget about it and concentrate on the work? And I remember somebody said, oh, but it's not good to stop breastfeeding. Why? So these are some of the things. You should tell yourself that for women, we have to work harder. I always say it, that so that it does not become like you got it because you are a woman or you got it because you were favored. You should always want to go ahead. You should always want to stand out, because without being outstanding, you will not be noticed. And you are in a male-dominated space, and you want to be seen for the skills that you have. When Doc was speaking, he said in the training he's seen more men than women. But the opportunities are there for everyone. It's only that you don't get the women coming forth that I want to do this, because they probably heard that it's demanding. They've probably heard that there's a lot that comes with it. So I always encourage the women that get over yourself and tell yourself that you can do it, especially when you are in a space where there's support, like you are in the port. There's support if you want to do it. If you are in my department and you still do not have a master's, it's not allowed. They know. Because I would support you, whether a man or a woman, so that you can do it. Because the port to RMU is not far. The port to any of the universities is not far. So if you have the opportunity to go ahead, tell yourself that you can do it and take advantage of it. Because I think that now we have all the doors open for us as women in the maritime sector to excel. We do not have any excuses at all.
Thank you very much. So tell yourself that you can do it. It is possible, and it will be possible. Madam Catherine.
Yes, I think that the challenges have mainly been cultural and of perception. So the perception that as a woman you can't do it, it runs deep, right from the house roles, gender roles. Woman, you are supposed to do that. Man, you are supposed to do that. Your brother is supposed to do this, you know. So it's more cultural and just the perception, which we have come a long way. I know from the experiences we have shared here, we've seen women rise to the top. So I believe that, I mean, these challenges that we see can be overcome. If we are having women in the boardrooms, it means that these are students sitting here can aspire to do same. So nothing should stop us. So I would say that as a woman, it's like you have to prove yourself twice because of where we find ourselves. And so know your stuff, knowledgeable in what you are doing. Because if you are knowledgeable and the opportunity comes and you present it, it will be clear that you know what you are about, and build your confidence. So for every lady, every young person out here, be knowledgeable in whatever you are pursuing, and then build confidence in it so that wherever you stand, if you are asked to deliver, you'd be able to deliver. Otherwise, you still have to go run into someone and then you are not being taken serious. So personally, as Madam indicated, we need to work on ourselves as women and inspire to do great things. And that's on the personal level. I think the institutions can equally play a role, learning about the crèche being, I mean, the thought of even establishing a crèche is a step in the right direction from GPHA. And if other institutions could emulate, because it's a worry and it worries a lot of the women. So sometimes people are married and they are thinking, can I give birth at this time? Because they have to look at all the difficulties childbirth will bring them. And so, especially even if you go on maternity, in some institutions, it's like you are forgotten. You are non-existent just because you are on maternity. Nothing gets to you, no information, you know. So you come back and it's like you are now coming to start all over again. So I think our institutions can do better in this regard when women have to go through maternity and then they resume and it's like they've gone steps back, you know. So the institutions can look at some of these things and the opportunities are there for women. So you know yourself, you know your stuff, you build your confidence, and you'd be able to deliver wherever. We can do it.
Thank you. That's very, very insightful. Great points. So there should be a cultural shift. You should equip yourself, competencies, skills, and attitudes as well. Because some of us, we have the skills, we have the competencies, but our attitude stinks. So you have to work on that. You don't leave any of these behind. As you work on your competencies, you develop your skills, you also have to work on your attitude. And then the third one I gathered from Madam Catherine is the institutional support. And it is hoped that with government policies, initiatives, and mentoring, the institutions would actually put in place support systems for the ladies. Because I know some ladies who have had to put their career literally on hold just to make sure that their children grow to a certain age and then go back to it. But if we have the crèche, we have these support systems, nothing would stop us and we would get there. Thank you very much. Good insights. Madam Matilda.
Thank you. I will focus my comments on the present 24-hour economy with the launch of the Volta Economic Corridor. What it means is that there's going to be great expansion in the maritime industry. And so there will be so many opportunities, and therefore for women as well, and for the men. We need to get ourselves ready. We have to encourage the young ladies, especially our growing kids, to go into studies that focuses on science, technology, engineering, mathematics, IT, because it's no longer going to be the canoe. It's going to be digitized, automated. It's going to be based on data. And so we have to be very conversant with these courses, these programs, we must open our minds. Mathematics is no longer the field of men. I remember in secondary school, when I told my mathematics teacher that I don't understand, we were downstairs. I attended Ola. He would tell me, go up and jump down. So I never liked mathematics. I prayed to God and I learned so hard I had credit in mathematics. But I think that if I knew what I know now, I would have done better. So I encourage the young ones, do your best. Open up your minds to the engineering or whatever field you are, because the jobs that are going to be created, it's not just the technical parts, but we have the peripherals, HR, and finance, and all others. So we should open up our minds to embrace what is coming. The government is set to open doors for jobs, create jobs, and make life more comfortable for all of us, to enhance our fortunes. But we must prepare ourselves. It is no longer she's a woman, so let's give her the opportunity, because we want results. We want results. We want to see what can be done to our life that we are always crying about. And it starts from you and I. It starts from the classroom. It starts from how serious we are with our books today that will tell into the future. And then I'll encourage our males. I read on Captain Jopap, a retired seafarer. There's an aspect that encouraged me. She said when she entered the male-dominated industry, she was motivated by the males. They encouraged her. From home, they encouraged her. And she said the first time she was on a ship and went to, is it the Americas or, I can't remember, but I think America, there was interviews because there was a female on the ship. In fact, I was so excited. We can do it. We can continue. But it starts from the mind, as the two ladies have said. It starts from here, and then we must also encourage the young ones to get onto what they can do best. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Matilda. Yes, if a female finds herself in the midst of men, that female is really pampered. I don't know whether you've experienced it before. And that's why most ladies prefer working with men than with women, because they really pamper us. So you see, they compliment us and they pamper us. So we love them. We are not in competition with them at all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think, Madam, I've just said what I wanted to say. I wanted to play the devil's advocate here. I would say that women need a lot of encouragement from men. One of the biggest problems that I have encountered is that women don't get the kind of encouragement they should get from their male counterparts. I remember between 2012 and 2014, I was sailing in a school ship between Dali and Busan and Onkon. And anytime we had females on board, we do the cooking on board for them. So the women never go to the galley to cook. We make sure that the victuals we have are enough for them. So women need a lot of encouragement. But then I think one of the biggest problem also is lack of education. From the primary school level, we've been tuned to think that some jobs are only for men. And I think that the kind of education we need shouldn't just go to the secondary school. Like I said, the Go to Sea program has been very, very beneficial. We've had female students from Archbishop Potter Girls who only heard about Regional Maritime University because of the program. So I think it's something that GMA should actually continue and try and go more into female or girl schools around the world, around the country, to encourage them to go into maritime education. So I think with this kind of education, this kind of encouragement, we're going to have more women in the industry. Thank you.
So GMA, Go to Sea campaign should be taken
we'll keep up the good work.
Okay. Thank you very much. Our final round will be on what we can do to inspire the next generation of women maritime professionals? What can we do to inspire them? They see us. What can be done to inspire them?
I would say that, for example, like I said, encouraging more of them by giving them scholarship slots. So if we can have, for example, the RMU scholarship fund, if we're going to have 30 or 40% for female, that will encourage them to learn. Not just in maybe nautical science or marine engineering, but other programs to encourage them to come on board. Like I said earlier on, I think there should be a very deliberate government policy on trying to make sure that we have more females in the industry. So these 2 points would be my take. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam.
I will look at mentorship, because when a young growing up or a young lady sees a mentor, the mentor is the one with the experience in the profession. It becomes very visible to her. She can see it right before her, and she sees what it takes to get what she wants. So we must mentor. You mentor right, you are a role model, and you show the path, and the young person sees that this is very achievable. Organizations should also be ready to make visible women who are hardworking. It's not about being managerial roles. It could even be a welder, somebody down there. Some welders are up there though, but I'm talking about somebody who is down there. If you know that this person is good at what she does, she can be a mentor to the young ones who are coming. At VLTC, we write to Regional Maritime University for a particular caliber of national service persons based on what we want them to come and do. And when they come, they see both males. The females are very few though in areas like engineering. They see them welding. And I think these are good role models. These are good mentorship for them to be encouraged to move on to get to wherever they want to get to. Thank you.
I want us to stay a little bit on mentorship. Someone will say, like one of our ladies, I want a mentor. How do I get a mentor? You are talking about mentorship. Here am I. Where do I find the mentor? I know in some professional institutions, professional associations, they have a structured one where it runs, yearly. So they pick people they mentor. After a period, they change. And so someone like our students, how will they find the mentors?
Can I?
Yes, you can.
Thank God today, because of social media, we have so much information available for us. If you are somebody who reads, even on Facebook, you can see people of certain caliber. You want to be an engineer or an engineer. What does it take to be an engineer at GMA? You have to find out. You have to find out. You can Google. You can go to Facebook. People say Facebook is not good, but for me, it depends on what you use it for. You can find mentors everywhere, madam. You don't really need structured organizations or groups that for you to look for mentors. Even as we sit here, you can Google. Through Facebook, you can find me. You can find madam. Who is this lady? She says she works at VLTC. How can I contact her? We are here. We are going to finish. You can look for my contact. So looking for a mentor, you don't really need to go to the University of Ghana to go and read books to find a mentor. They are all over. Okay. Thank you.
So they can be found on Facebook, basically anywhere. So basically reading about them as well, because you shared a story of you reading about Captain Joppa, and that inspired you. So they can do same. Okay, thank you.
I was going to say that just like, the youth these days have idols. They will go to a concert to go and meet, take pictures with the person and all of it. So if the career is that important to you and there's somebody you admire, you would find a way to get to that person. So the mentoring shouldn't just be you seeing the person or waiting for a structured program, but you can reach out. It depends on how you even go about it. If you go to their DMs, they may probably have a lot of people reaching out to them and will not find what you've sent. But there are various ways. You can, once you are following the person and you know that they are going to be at a certain program, you can go there. You could ask questions. The kind of question you would ask would bring the person's attention to you and then say, oh, madam, or I sent you a DM, but I'm not sure you've seen it. That's why I've come here. The person would see how serious that you are. That if you follow them to that program, then indeed you would want to be mentored. And it is often, the mentorship is not just about the person, you looking up to them, but they also give you advice. They also bring your expectations. They help mold it so that probably how you're seeing yourself in a conversation with you, they'll tell you that, I think this is not your forte. Maybe you should choose this one. So the mentorship guides you in the career path. It also gives you confidence because like you are looking in a mirror, you are seeing somebody who is doing something that you would want to do as well. So aside the policy that Doc spoke about, and then you looking after, I think visibility is also important because once you see the person out there, you know that, oh, this is possible. If this woman is doing it, then of course I can also do it. So the mentors should also be visible so that the people can know that indeed this can be done. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, I couldn't have agreed more than what they have said. The mentors need to be visible and be recognized. If they are out there, the people will see them, the students will see them. In the earlier session, someone mentioned about sometimes sending even these mentors to training institutions. So you have RMU, you can go there. If it's a World Maritime Day or a Port Day, something like that, you can just put these mentors together and visit them in the schools. So they are seeing them, at least they know that Madam so and so, Madam this, Madam that, they have that. And then they can follow from there and approach them with their questions and then build that relationship from there, where, as Madam said, they could be guided in their career and then in the choices that they would be making. So the mentors need visibility and guidance. It is very necessary. And also, I wanted to say that the students themselves, they also need to, I don't know, but sometimes, I don't know about now, if you have a sort of a ladies club or something. They do. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's encouraging. So for networks like that, whilst you are in school, you have a maritime ladies club or something, you join. And then you engage in the activities, you participate in the activities, and then you build on that. So you move into industry, and there are also associations. And within these associations, if you participate, you will find some of these women there who are occupying positions and doing a lot of great things that you can look at, you can aspire to, you can follow them, ask them questions and all that. So, mentorship is, we cannot do away with it because it drives the inspiration. You look at the person and you say, I want to be like that woman, because you see something, you see the heights the woman has reached, and you are encouraged to also get there. So it's very crucial.
Thank you. But how do you handle a situation where a young lady is looking up to someone as a mentor, and the person, you reach out to the person, as Abna suggested, but the person does not seem to have time for you, because it happens, not deliberate, but probably the schedules are such that they are not friendly. So I don't really have that time. How does this young lady who was looking forward to such mentorship manage their disappointments, and what next step do they have to take?
So that's, it's very real, because these women we are seeing, they have a lot on their hands. So they are occupying top positions. There are a lot of meetings to attend, a lot of things, tasks to do. So certainly we know that they are very busy people. And so as young people, we approach them and they may not really have the time. So I believe that you can actually push, a bit further, try, do some pushing, So probably you leave a message once the person doesn't, maybe you try 1, 2, 3, the response is not there. I think you can move to another person, find another suitable person who is also doing amazing, and then you could reach out. I want to believe that, we can't have all the mentors saying no to you or everyone saying, I'm busy, I don't have time. At least you would find one or two amongst the lots to help you. That's what I think.
Thank you.
I just want to add this. I worked with an NGO some years back, and the chairperson of the NGO was a woman. She could ask you why you are looking at her face when she's talking to you. This is a woman who was pushing the female girl-child education, and yet we ask a female staff, so like she said, the obstacles you will meet, but you must find a way to get over it. We can all not be the same. You have to strategize to get over it. Otherwise, you will stay back. I told myself when I left that place that I would never wish to work with a woman. But I changed my mind after a certain time. So you are definitely built to meet those obstacles. But you have to find a way and push on. Thank you.
Thank you. I just wanted to chip this in. Like they've all said, when you want to meet someone, you don't just send the person a message and then you are tired. You don't want to do it again. The Gen Zs of our time now, they get frustrated easily and then they stop pushing. I remember there was a time I wanted to meet Professor Theo Notibum. Notibum is a landmark person in our industry. He was a lecturer in my university by then. Anytime I try to talk to him, even when I meet him, he doesn't have my time. But I pushed and pushed and pushed to the extent that one day he just said, look, I'm tired, come. So sometimes you just have to push. And the mentorship we're talking about for female students, it is not just going to look for another woman to mentor you. Men can mentor females. And I've seen that happen so many times, and it's been successful. So I just wanted to chip this in that the mentorship we're talking about is not just going to look for a female you look up to. You can look for a very responsible man that you can look up to also mentor you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Did you want to say?
I just wanted to add that we have also had opportunities where we've gone into schools. I know that the network of professional women in maritime and ports have gone to some schools in Tema and Takoradi. And after we have left, met with them, I think we spent about 5 hours with them. We went with different women from different departments in the port so that they can know that these are the sort of fields that you can study and come to work in the port. We left numbers with them. I think only a handful of them reached out. And you were like, is there anything? So we went back to the school. Can we get the number of the ladies that we engaged? Because we wanted to pick about 10 of them and ensure that we properly mentor them till the tertiary. And today you call, it's this, tomorrow. So even at that stage, the personal inhibitions are still there. If you want to be mentored, you also have to make yourself available. If the mentors are visible, you yourself as the mentee, you should also be available so that it becomes a two-way thing. But you even need the mentor more than they need you. And when we have tours in the ports, we make a conscious effort that we tell the women or even when they are girls, because we do the tours from when they are 8 CS and upward, so that we take them to the various places where there are women working in the port. You see the interest, then you talk to them that it's available. There are numbers to call. Only few call, but we are still there. So the mentoring, it requires effort on your part as the mentee. So I want to encourage them that, as Doc said, you just try once and then you leave it. But even when people have opened their doors to you and you are still not taking enough advantage of it, but we are there.
It's been very, very insightful. Have we enjoyed it? Great, great, great. Now we want to turn our focus on our audience. We want to open the floor for questions and answers. We want to have ample time to answer your questions or any reflections. It is welcomed. So the floor is open. Who wants to go first? Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Moderator. So I want to contribute to the discussion, and that has to do with the whole mentorship thing. I think for most women that now are coming out to be mentors, from my perspective, I don't think all of them are mentors. Some can be good public speakers. They can encourage the young women to get to the top, but they don't necessarily have the qualities of being a good mentor. And Madam made mention of one boss who can say, "Don't look at my face when you are talking to me." I have had an experience where my cousin, who has a very terrible menstrual cycle, she was working with this boss who will come and say that, "Am I also not a woman? As I also go through the same thing." But I don't think they are the same. And this woman will not understand the situation. She can be in the room for like 2 days. She cannot do anything. But this woman will not understand her. So when it comes to mentorship, I don't think we necessarily need to push all the young ladies to go in for mentor. Some women must understand that this is not my field. Or probably I have so much in my bucket, so I can't do that. I can have time, talk to 1,000 women, encourage them to even look at some of the men, because the women, few are at the top, they want to make the mark, and it comes with so much pressure. So the more we keep doing that, then you can end up making some of them terrible mentors. So yes, let's open up to some of the men. And my boss mentioned the responsible men. The young ladies must also understand that it is not everybody that you go in. The fact that the person comes and talk here doesn't mean that that person, you should just go to that person for mentorship. And the last thing I also want to talk about has to do with partnership. I completed my MBA, and anytime you try calling your old mates to check up on them, you realize that the women are not connecting. Right after school, it is only the men that we keep connecting with them. So yes, I have their young sisters here. We have some doing marine engineering, some doing logistics. I think this group come together. Even when we are done with school, you can just connect each other, and before you see, you even set up a shipping line, because you have all the skills that is needed to run a shipping line. And when you do that, then with a little push, you are able to get there. So the women themselves must come together, partner each other, and push each other to get to the top. And I think when we do that, we can do much. Thank you. My name is Emmanuel Deho. I'm with the Ministry of Transport.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. Any other questions, reflections, or anything from the... Yes. Tell us your name.
Please, thank you very much. My name is Helena Maya, a second-year marine engineering student. Please, I have 2 questions for you today. As Madam Abina said, opportunities have been made available, and have been made available to us, pertaining scholarships and other programs we can further in after we graduate. But my question is, how best are these opportunities being made, like, how best are they being advertised or made known to the public? Because currently, in our current generation, social media has become something else. So some of us try our very best to avoid social media because of certain things that are being put on the media or being made public, or maybe because of certain families that we come from. Yes. And my second question is, what is the best advice or encouragement you have received since, as a female, since you joined the corporate sector in the maritime industry? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Who is going first?
Let me answer the first question. So, the first question is on channels of advertisement for opportunities like this. I believe, for example, the RMU Scholarship Fund, you should know that by now. Yes, so you'd know that if you apply for the RMU Scholarship as a female, the opportunities is better for you than a male. Probably, I don't work in marketing, but I should do their job for them. Maybe they haven't been able to articulate it properly to the students, but I would encourage all of you to apply for the RME Scholarship Fund. And speaking about the RME Scholarship Fund, because it's a fund, GMA comes in to help with the fund, but it could also be a corporate social responsibility for subsectors in the maritime industry. So for shipping lines, we are encouraging everyone, shipping lines, freight forwarding companies, chandling companies, and everyone who can try and put some money into the fund to encourage especially females. So if you say that, okay, we are contributing 100,000 Ghana cedis, but we want this money specifically to go to females as our corporate social responsibility, we'll be glad about it. So I understand that, yes, the channels of advertisement hasn't gone out yet, but I would ask them to make sure that is done for you guys. Okay, thank you.
Doc, can I come? Do you know, are you aware of the funding Doc is talking about? On the banner, when? Just about a month ago? Then we have an issue there. Is it not part of their orientation?
So I think it's because the scholarship program started not too long ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that is why many students are not aware of that.
Okay.
Yes.
But I can relate to the question she asked.
Yeah.
Apart from the one you just mentioned, where else can they find others? You know, I mean, it's difficult. Is there any way we can help them or point them to the right places?
I want to also encourage you. You know ChatGTP. Okay. One day I told it, I wrote and I said, this is me. I am in my mid-40s. This is my career path. What can I do? This. I'll be retiring. The things that it wrote for me, I was amazed. I put in what I've studied. It gave me what I can do in 10 years' time, how to get there, courses I should take, how I can do A, B, C, D. I can write a book. The thing that it told me, and it gave me resources as to places I can go, and then scholarship for women in certain fields that I can pursue. So you knowing who you are and what you want to do, just go there. Put everything. Maybe I am 22, I am studying this, I am in Africa, I want to do this. What are the channels? If I need scholarship, you will be amazed at the resource that you can pull out. You can pull out resources for scholarships, for schools that you can attend, opportunities that you yourself you didn't even know existed. So the social media has very good sides, and they have the other devices, but you have to use it consciously. And this one is garbage in, garbage out. You should feed it the facts that you yourself you have, and then you should tell it exactly what you want it to do for you, and it will give you wonderful things. I even put in something about business. I was surprised that it was able to tell me that Bantama, where I come from, is a busy street with this, so I can do A, B. I was amazed. So there are so many resources out there online that you can use to help you other than the TikTok. Me, I am not on TikTok. I am not on, apart from the WhatsApp and Facebook and LinkedIn, I'm not anywhere. But please use those resources. It will give you wonderful ideas and point. Even if you go to IMO's website and you go to explore, it will give you scholarships that are available. So the resources are there. You just have to know where you're looking. Yeah.
I think it's very, very true. I always say that this generation has everything it takes to make it. It's just that they are not utilizing it, because sometimes you'll be in an interview room and somebody will walk in and you'll be like, did she or he really come from home? So I keep telling them, there's there's so many things you can learn from the on social media, but you are learning the wrong things. It's just the wrong things you are learning. So, like Madam Abna said, you can go on there and use it to your benefit. I appreciate the fact that you said, oh, you don't like using it because of the vices on it, but there are some good bits about it as well. So use it wisely, and you'd see the benefits it comes with. Okay, all right. Anybody else? Or should we move to the next question? What was
I
it?
think you asked a second question, an advice. Oh, okay. So, well, I hadn't started my career then, but when we're in school in RMU, we have one of our first lessons, one of the lecturers came, and the first question they asked was, how do you see the sea? So if I'm to ask you that question now, what would be your answer? How do you see the sea? Can you think of anything? No, okay, so picture you standing in front of the sea. How do you see it? It's scary, isn't it? Because you look at the waves and how they are moving and they are rolling, and you are like, hey, let me step back. Oh, the sea can easily carry me away, especially if you don't know how to swim. So it's scary. But when you look over the sea, I don't know, you are doing nautical science, so you should know what a horizon is, right? When you look up there on the level of the sea, your eye level, you see the horizon. So when she asked us, how do you see the sea? And we're all there, we're like, oh, the sea is scary. Someone said, I don't know how to swim. We're only looking at the negative aspects, as in what we cannot do. But then he said, if you cast your eye, your eye level to the sea level, you'll see a horizon there. And it's really beautiful. So imagine building a bridge over the sea, and then you walking on the bridge to the horizon, that beautiful place. And that is how we should see the sea. And that has stuck with me for many, many years, over 20 years since. Because if you look at it, it's so scary because it's so big, you don't even know the ends of the sea. And it can easily carry anyone away. Sometimes even the best swimmers are carried away. But if you look at it from the eye level and you see the horizon, build a bridge on it and walk across it, because there are beautiful things there out at sea. So when you walk on the bridge, you know what you are getting to. So you forget about the scary part of the sea, and you know that you are walking on a bridge to get to a certain destination. And that has guided us, because you know that something positive is out there, a lot of opportunities on the horizon out there. And so build a bridge on it and walk confidently, work hard in the process, and you get there.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Said it all. Okay, thank you, Madam Catherine. Any other question? Okay, I have.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Please, my name is Anna Yvonne. I'm logistics level 300. Please, I want to know the MLA. I'm very surprised Madam doesn't know about it. But then I want to know. Sometimes we organize programs for the ladies, like MLA meetings where we want to engage other girls in some of the programs. But then most of the girls tell us that we invite like mostly the same person all the time. Like it's always our patron. Apart from our patron, it's only one lecture or two lectures that come around once a time. So we want to know if once a while we can invite you guys to our program to mentor us as a group, so that it won't be like we are doing it. We are having mentorships on individual basis. And as you know, we have IT students and we have transportation, marine engineering, nautical science. And I feel like the girls in IT, they have this big problem that the maritime industry only cares about the nautical science and the transportation people. So we please need help with that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so thanks for that. I think that if the invitation comes, why not? We will honor them. I mean, you just have to send it in time. If you know you are having a program, I believe you would have planned towards it. So you send out the invitations earlier so that the people are able to plan and then attend and be there. So, yeah.
And I think they can also send the invitation through the associations like Wista, Imoka, or
Yes, they could.
Okay.
Yes, they could.
Okay.
You could send it through the women as you know some of the Wester, you know Wema. Yeah, at least you have some people that you could equally send, and then they would find suitable people to be there.
You could just send it to the marketing manager at the port, and I'll find you appropriate person depending on the meeting. Like you're saying, the IT people, I can get some people from my IT. There are some women there, and then they can come to assist them. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, Madam just said it. Besides the women associations, you could equally write to the institutions directly. So, as Sports is saying, you could write to GMA, you could write to VLTC that you are doing this program and would require a set of women with this backgrounds, you know, to be represented. And certainly we'll hit to the call.
Okay, yes. Can I give the opportunity to this lady? I saw your hand up. The lady in green. Oh, okay. I saw two hands up.
Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Erica Ekwamwa. I'm a student of Regional Maritime University, Port and Shipping Administration. So I have two questions. So my first question is, we are talking about including women in the maritime sector. Okay, so I'm saying we are talking about including ladies or women in the maritime sector. And then I know it's not going to be given on a silver platter. You can't just get up and say, I'm going into the maritime sector. I want to know which advice you give to us, how we start, where to start from, in order to get to where we want to get to. That's the first question. And the second question is, I want to know what institutions, maritime institutions, have put in place to recruit students of the Regional Maritime University. Because I realized the school is Regional Maritime University. If you are interested in the maritime institution, you attend school there to understand or gain knowledge on the maritime sector. But I've realized that some people complete and yet still they are unable to get jobs in the maritime industry. And we know it's a vast industry. We have different aspects of it, but yet still they are not able to get into these industries to work. So I want to know what measures have been put in place for us. Thank you.
Can I take this question as well so that I believe that will be the last question?
It's not a question, just to contribute to the question she just asked concerning the getting people to come and talk at your club. So I'm with Rotary, and I used to be a retractor at the tertiary level. So what we do is we have a yearly plan of action, and we have themes. So every month and then a theme. So we draw our programs, and then we go on the net, research, know the people within the field that you want them to come, because these people have tight schedules. So when you plan like from now to maybe next year December, you know the one that you want to talk to. You write to them. You give them like 3 months notice, and then you give them reminders. You are able to attract these big people who come. There are a lot of them that want to come and share their experience. Some don't want the television. but they are ready to come to your classrooms to talk to you. So have a plan of action, draw your activities, sit down as a team, and then you write to them, and you know, I'm at the ministry, our chief director has been there. I don't think you've ever written to her that you want to meet her to have a discussion with you. So do this thing, you come to the ministry, you go to RMU, you go to GMA, all these people are there that can assist, not only the women, but there are men too who can come and assist you. And outside the organization, there are institutions that are ready to come and talk to you, so you can do that.
Thank you very much. Now to my panelists. Can you answer the questions for us? Doug would answer the questions. Okay.
Okay, so I think, like I said earlier on, the, our industry is a specialized industry. I personally don't think that it is fair for someone who had studied BSc Port and Shipping Administration, a lady who has studied BSc Port and Shipping Administration, to be overlooked when there is time for employment and the employment is given or the job is given to someone who studied political science at the University of Ghana. I really think it is not fair. If we are encouraging women to come into the maritime industry, it means that there should be deliberate government policies for employment. In the country that I studied, before you graduate, companies come for job fairs. So they pick people even before you graduate. Unfortunately, we don't have that. And so I think shipping lines, freight forwarding companies, multimodal transport operators, companies that work in our industries, should make it a deliberate policy to have a quota for people working in the industry, and that would actually show up the amount of people or amount of women that are employed. So the example that I give, a very good example, someone studies BSc Ports and Shipping Administration, but when the person goes for a job interview, another person from another university, a male from another university is employed. But this person has studied maritime from level 100 all the way to level 400. So I think we can actually advocate for some of these things. So I really think deliberately institutions, private institutions should know that this is how we grow the industry. This is how we grow the maritime industry. Because if we don't do that, then who is going to employ them? Right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And I also think that, especially for the maritime students, there's something I've observed with the university, the general university students. On vacation now, they are on internship. We have many of them at VLTC from level 100, which means that when they're on vacation, they come for industrial attachment. I don't know if not after the 3 or 4 year period, because at VLTC, what we see are national service from RMU. We don't see interns, because the internship is very effective. It's good for you, so that by the time you complete for national service, you are about 20% big for the labor market. So that when you get the 1 year national service, which should be done very effectively and seriously, you'll be ready for employment. Otherwise, the Ghana that I know is going to be tough. So that will be, and that should be a deliberate action from the government. Thank you.
I think they also need to know where to apply to for these internships, because I'm sure for some of them, this is the first time hearing that they could actually undertake internship from VLTC. Is it that easy to get in?
I don't know if it is part of the curriculum. If it is, then there should be an introductory letter from the school. But it cannot always be only VLTC, because we can't even take them all. Yes. But I think this is something that should be encouraged.
Doc,
But
maybe you may
wouldn't it?
want to look at some of the institutions that could take them and then spread your tentacles, because obviously, if it's just one institution, they obviously cannot take all of them. So identifying the institutions that are relevant to their studies would also help. So we probably would have to look at that as well.
Yeah, I wanted to add on from what Doc said. He was asking for institutions to have quotas to, absorb some of these students. It's a good call, but I also think that the training institution could also make an effort by going to these institutions, telling them this is ready markets for you. We have the students, they've been trained. Why are we going out there to the other places to employ people? So they themselves could engage the institutions, and tell them what you have, the ready market you have, in terms of they could come for internships or national service or employment, So I think the school should also do, something, not just waiting for the policy to be implemented or for the institutions to absorb, but go to the institutions and tell them, we have the market, we have the value, we have the product for you. So, give us some slots.
I couldn't agree more with what Catherine is saying. You sell your people. Let us know what you have. And that discourse should be had at the top level, and that would bring about the results. So maybe you would want to look at that as well. Yeah.
Yes. And even
I was just going to add that probably, Doc, you should also reach out to the ministry so that the ministry should ensure that the agencies under the ministry are working with that policy. So together we can pave way for the young ones that are coming up. Yeah.
Thank you very, very, very much. In the absence of any further question, I would like to wholeheartedly thank my wonderful panelists. It's been a very engaging session. One thing is clear, that it is possible for the female to get to the top, for the female to do any job in the maritime and the logistics industry that she desires. As we reset the transport and logistics sector, avail yourself. Don't forget about reading even on somebody who you admire, just like Madam Matilda said. If you are chasing after this mentor and she is not available or he is not available, you can always read on them. We've also learned that we can also find responsible men to mentor. So please, the door is not closed entirely. There is enough space for every one of us. Find your space and shine in your space. Once again, a very big thank you to the Ministry of Transport for this wonderful fair, the first ever maritime and logistics fair, trying to reset the agenda. Thank you very much, the audience, my panelists, and the organizers. Thank you. Okay, I think, yes, you can interact. The session is closed.
There are a few questions you need to answer for it. For those who have not found it yet. All right, thank you. camera.